After Tom caught me hiring a male model at the bar, we had this massive argument. I packed my bags in the middle of the night, ready to leave, when I suddenly saw a series of comments flashing across the screen. LOL, the male lead is secretly crying in the study, and the female lead has already run away. Oh, if it weren't for this misunderstanding, the female lead wouldn't have had a car accident, lost her memory, and been taken in by the male lead. This rich girl wouldn't get battered and bruised. Hey girl, don't go. Just give the male lead a kiss. Forget the male model, he'd give you his life. Skeptical but curious, I gave him a quick peck. He almost took my life with it. As I lugged my suitcase downstairs, I glanced at the slightly open study door. Tom had been in there for 3 hours. Sure, I admit hiring a model was wrong, but was Tom blameless? The guy is all grown up, yet dresses like a tease and keeps throwing me off, making me question if I'm some kind of nun, so I thought a chat with a model might divert my mind. Instead, Tom caught me red-handed, tossed me over his shoulder in front of everyone, and dragged me home. Like he did nothing wrong? I kept the phone call going with my friend Nancy, who couldn't help but comment, "Isn't Tom only 30? You make it sound like he's ancient, halfway to the grave." Yeah, well, 30 is prime for stomach care. He's jealous of my youth and beauty. And who knows, he might be going commando under that suit. She laughed like a rooster at dawn. "All right, I gotta go, babe. Just come on over to my place. Be safe on the way over." Nancy's been dating this celeb and is always jetting somewhere. Her place is empty, so I figured I'd crash there for a few days. Out of defiance, I pulled out a super short skirt. I snapped a selfie in the living room, planning to send it later when I was far away. Then I grabbed my layers for the cold outside. After all, it was snowing out there. Then some texts floated before my eyes. "She's so adorable, flaunting that tube top in front of the male lead, but underneath she's got thermal leggings on. Girl, don't go. Kiss the male lead now. Forget the male model, he'd give you his life." I paused. It hit me what the text seemed to imply. That I'd go through an accident tonight, forget Tom, get picked up by some dude, and live on 1 meal a month but have kids over 3 years. This guy wouldn't love me, just taking me as a substitute for his first love. When I regained my memory and spontaneously left the kids to head back to Tom's place, only then he'd reject his first love's proposal and strive hard to overturn Company J, winning my heart back. Then, I'd accidentally run Tom over, turning him into a vegetable and inherit his wealth, live a happy life with a new dude and hand over all the financial assets? Crazy. Animatedly commenting like the incident with the cockroach Tom and I talked about when he worked late at the office was something they knew. Creepy. Wow, she'd rather play with her phone than kiss the male lead? Just pretend he's a chicken. Are you trying to kill me? I kinda want to see that too. The male lead has time to cry. Should strip down and lay on the bed, maybe the female lead gets wild and goes for it. No tearing him apart. The male lead's already on Twitter vetting good guys for her. I blinked and got up, tiptoe-ing into the study. There was Tom, head down on his phone with his glasses on. Ignoring his red nose and eyes, you might think he's reviewing spreadsheets. Hearing my steps, he tucked his phone away, rubbing his forehead. "Not asleep yet?" he said, then saw my micro mini. He stood and marched towards me. "Rachel, dressed like that in the dead of night, planning to fly?" I flinched as he shouted. I burst out laughing, confronted with Tom's darkness in his gaze. He chuckled, setting his glasses on the table. I sensed trouble, tried to flee. "I was wrong, Tom. I'll change." But he grabbed my waist. His voice tense. "Not only dressed like this, packing too? Off to see who?" When I tried to speak, he covered my mouth. "Forget it, you always twist the truth. Don't want to die of exasperation," he sighed, closing the door in my face, much to my dismay. "Look at those thermals on the floor, man." A loud smack echoed. I was stunned for a full 10 seconds. Comments rushed in. Male lead standing up for himself. Is she frozen? Not clawing his face? Spanking's kinda wrong, but why am I thrilled? Angry and embarrassed, I bit down hard on Tom's hand. He didn't react, just kept going 10 times. Then he eased me. Why the tears? Hurts much? I was being gentle, he muttered, massaging where it stung. I whimpered in disbelief. Comments, laughing, cutting loose or what? More like cry of joy, if you ask me. Tom noticed how close we were. Every tiny move felt tenfold, causing a shift. All right, if you realize, he shifted, avoiding sensitive spots to gently lower me. A comment ran through my head. If you kiss him now, forget the male model, he'd give you his life. Possessed by impetuousness, I bit his lip. Tom grunted, surprised. I murmured, Tom, you got my skirt dirty. Closing his eyes briefly, he sighed, what was that you just did? I blinked, taking another playful nip. Do you know how much that male model cost me for tonight? I didn't even get to hold his hand, and you're spanking me. It wouldn't be too much to ask for a kiss as compensation for the emotional damage, would it? Tom's temple vein pulsed. Do you know what kind of things men in those places would do to you? He undid an underwear clasp. His big hand caressed my skin. My face went red. DD, don't start anything. Didn't you say you were taking me as a male model? His fingers twitched slightly, making me shiver. Trying to avoid his hands, I leaned closer to him. You're picking on me, stop. Are you already feeling sorry for yourself? The things those bad guys would do are 100, 1,000 times worse than me. I subconsciously muttered, my allowance covers just holding hands, what you're talking about costs extra. Seems like you've done your homework. Tom's movements slowed, giving me a false impression. I didn't catch the anger in his tone, and hummed triumphantly, of course, I made plans and waited forever for the appointment, won't waste the trip. Before I could finish, the sudden weightlessness scared me into hugging his neck. What the heck, you're gonna give me a heart attack. He opened the study door with one arm holding me. In a panic, I blurted out, those male models are too weak, they couldn't do moves this hard. Still, Tom didn't say a word. As we passed my room's door, he didn't stop. I looked around, realizing the comments had paused 10 minutes ago. The last one was, I want to see the female lead kiss, I don't want to exit, but if she's happy then fine. Does that mean when Tom and I get close, these comments can't be seen? Pretty smart. I was spacing out when I suddenly landed on the soft bed. Tom lifted my chin and kissed me hard. He stole my breath bit by bit, moving on to new territories. Only then did I realize my waist was so sensitive. Compared to his moves, my two little pecs felt like child's play. Before I knew it, clothes were all over the floor. Mostly mine. I looked down, Tom was still in his suit. Acting all proper while doing nasty things. I was about to protest, but he came up to kiss me again. I turned my face away. He pinched my lips, why do you mind yourself so much? Even though you're kissing my body, you got the order wrong. And your hands aren't clean, don't just grab me. Oh, you complain I'm dirty? Then what about how dirty those male models might be? He's rubbing my tailbone. I finally caught on, also feeling an unwelcome fire inside. They can't compare to you, Tom. I swear I won't secretly look for male models again. Tom untied his tie. Well, you said it yourself, no wasted trips, I'm ruining your schedule, so I gotta make it up to you. Besides, you said I look better than them. The teasing had already pushed me over the edge, my legs shaking a bit. Weakly, I protested, I've had enough, your kissing skills and nimble fingers are top-notch. He chuckled, why so panicked? No stuff stocked up at home. I won't do anything crazy. But really, a man's words in bed can't be trusted. Even if there was nothing, he'd find 100 ways to keep me up till morning. By the time I opened my eyes again, it was 3 p.m. I barely went downstairs before I got Tom's message. You up? Ordered takeout, on its way. I paused, looking at the security camera. Don't tell me you've been watching to see when I'd wake up. Nah, just in a boring meeting. Did you help me call in sick this morning? As I was eating takeout, I finally got to read new comments. Is that a mark on the female lead's neck? So possessive. Oh no, just saw the male lead joined the company too. He's here to stay, huh? I gotta admit, Sam's pretty handsome for a jerk. I opened up the big group chat and saw people welcoming the newbie. I jumped in, copying the greeting message. Then right away, Tom's message popped in, you know him? Before I could look closely, he retracted it. Confused, I saw in the comments, the female lead casually copied, male lead's hearts crushed again. Looking closely, I realized I copied, hey. Handsome, you joined alone? Wanna chat? Those copying after me went off the mark. Sam's profile pic is an in-your-face selfie. He's really got that rough charm, so everyone started playing along with the joke. Never knew Tom was this easily broken. When Tom was 20, he was a bastard of a rich kid. At that time, my brother Andy and I relied on the S family. No one guessed Andy would end up attending the same school and rooming with Tom. The S family treated me better, seeing Andy's connection as a way up. After Andy died, they tossed me into an orphanage, saying I was cursed and brought nothing but death around. They didn't hesitate to split up the house and inheritance. Tom pulled me from that rundown orphanage and fought back for what was mine. I still remember his blue hair, rebellious and nothing like now. He said Andy stopped a knife-wielding attacker on campus, saving many lives including his. So, he'd look after me in Andy's place. But for the first year, I refused to speak to him. Believed as long as I ignored him, Andy could come back. Tom never got mad. That was his busiest time. School and business left little room for sleep. But he stayed focused on my mental health day in and day out. I didn't know how rough his days were until he fainted in front of me one day. Hearing a chime, I snapped out of it. Sam just messaged, "Hi." Without seeing the comments, I wouldn't care. But now, everything feels off. Like he has a hidden agenda. The comments agree, told you he's up to no good, already showing up in front of the female lead. Can't say for sure. Sent similar messages to our entire department. But he added a cute emoji to the female lead. He's definitely trying to charm her. The female lead is so young, it's hard for her to resist temptation. She's just making the same mistake that every woman might make. You're making it sound like I'm actually planning to run off with some random guy. I couldn't help but laugh, then asked Tom's assistant for Sam's details. Leo knows my identity and never pries. I took a quick look at the info. Nothing seemed off, so I decided to just wait and see. Later, he messaged me about some work stuff. I took half an hour to reply with something vague. I didn't expect Leo to report even these small things to Tom. That night, Tom asked me at the dinner table why I was suddenly inquiring about the new guy. It took me a few seconds to realize he was talking about Sam. But I didn't know how to explain. I couldn't just say I might end up marrying him and having 2 kids. And that I'd hit you with a car and kill you. So I'm trying to nip it in the bud. All I could say was, I'm asking for a friend. She likes him and wants to know if he has a girlfriend. Tom's chopsticks fell to the floor with a clatter. I jumped a little. I'm full, he said, and then went upstairs. The helper was so scared she didn't dare breathe, and she quietly asked me, "Is it that tonight's dish wasn't to his liking?" I shook my head and put down my bowl. But once the helper left after cleaning up, I quietly sneaked into Tom's room. It wasn't that I needed to comfort him, it's just that watching the stream made me feel a bit guilty. The audience kept commenting. "Isn't that friend you mentioned actually you?" The male lead is upset again. After what happened last night, not only did the female lead act as if nothing happened, but she also asked about another guy. But the male lead already had Leo look into Sam's background. He probably found out about his first love too, so the female lead won't get fooled by some jerk. Tom was leaning against the headboard, scrolling on his phone. When he saw me come in, he looked at me without much reaction. Until I lifted the covers and got in. You. This is inappropriate. He had a stern face, but his hands were honestly holding my waist. I kissed him swiftly. When you don't like a proposal, do you just sulk and let your subordinates figure it out? I don't. Then should I leave? Stay. You know what's going on with Sam, right? Otherwise, why ask me when I'm on leave? Tom took my phone. Why didn't you just tell me directly? Worrying might just be my imagination. Maybe he's just an outgoing person. Actually, this isn't even that surprising. When I was adopted by the Jiang family, some malicious media took photos of us having dinner. They spread rumors that I was Tom's dad's illegitimate daughter. A lot of people tried to get close because of this. Later, I transferred to a new school and those scheming people faded away. Tom protected me well. If I brought it up, he'd likely just fire him. But I'm curious about Sam's intentions. I even joked to get Tom on board. Tom, can't believe you're this insecure. Sure, the guy's younger and... He pushed me down under him. Rachel. I blinked. But I haven't finished yet. I don't expect anything good from your mouth. I poked his chest. But I asked Wendy, my work buddy, about it. She said the newcomer's nothing like you, not as fit or toned. Few years in, he'd go bald with a beer belly, unlike you. At 80, you'd still be the sharpest CEO. I watched as his lips curled up a bit. I nudged him. Happy now? I'm going back to sleep. Tom didn't move. Next month, business trip, you're coming with me. I hadn't even answered before the audience chatter began. The poor male lead, totally at her mercy. Smart female lead, she noticed Sam's up to no good so fast. Figures, she's the pampered princess. If not for the amnesia, Sam wouldn't stand a chance. Their compliments got to me, so I eagerly agreed with Tom. He reached over to the bedside and handed me a box. I opened it. What a coincidence, you got me the necklace I love. Sweetheart, last week you sent me 15 photos of it. I pretended not to see it amidst it all, hee hee. I admired it under the light. Move a bit, you're blocking the light. So pretty, I feel like a princess with it on. Tom sighed. So, can I sleep next to the princess tonight? Emichim. Though just sleeping. I hugged the necklace, he hugged me, and it was all blissful. This good mood carried over until work the next day. Until Sam tried to cozy up to me now and then. I meant to play along, but I was so tired of his attitude. Especially after seeing comments like, Sam boasts to his buddies about getting the female lead to like him, calling her an easy target. So gross, acting all polished on the outside. Does he know something? His attitude towards her is weird. I agree. It seems like he can see the future. So during lunch, I snuck into Tom's office to report. I took the chance to also make sure he ate. He's such a workaholic. Lunch was untouched, despite it being set out. Seeing me glare, he leisurely stood up. Want a bite? Your favorite ribs. I avoided them in disdain. No way, they're cold. Hope your afternoon meeting gets interrupted by a stomachache. Then I sat in his chair with my legs dangling. Did Leo figure out Sam's motive? He's so annoying, always asking stupid questions. How'd you hire someone like him? Darling, you did say you'd tough it out. He gets to you that much, huh? Damn right, I had no idea he'd be this annoying. Just when I was debating whether to spill the beans about the situation, Tom's computer pinged. Leo had sent a document, and it was super detailed about how Sam had flunked a few courses in college. Of course, he also dug up stuff on Sam's first love. I turned my head just as Tom put down his chopsticks and walked over. Tom, you should give Leo a raise. My conscience won't let me chill otherwise. He knocked on my forehead and leaned down to check the document. I was scrolling and mumbling, seems like Sam should delete those CEO novels from his phone. Now it's got some double romance stuff too. Does he even know who I am? How dare he see me as a stand-in? Humph. The file didn't just include stuff about the first love. He was also boasting to friends about starting a business empire that's gonna be bigger than Tom's company. And it's clear he knows Tom and I are close. Most importantly, he had some interaction with Tom's competitor. There's nothing weird about competition, but that other company played dirty and imploded. They're now completely off the map. With Sam's skills, he shouldn't even consider going over there. I was about to warn Tom to be careful when suddenly the door opened. I slid down under the desk like a noodle. Tom tried not to laugh and sat down. The visitor was some old guy from the board. He was earnestly trying to convince Tom to meet his granddaughter. I'm not asking you to marry her, just have lunch with her, okay? This stubborn girl hasn't eaten in a day. You're single anyway. Just eat with her like a friend, please. I got all interested hearing this. Tom glanced at me lightly and declined. I already have someone I like, but I'm still chasing her, and I'm worried she might get jealous. You're not lying, right? You're always at work, where would you even meet someone? You're not messing around like those young folks, are you? You know my nephew, right? He's got a guy out there, and it's driving me nuts. Stop. Uncle Joe, you're not a kid anymore, stop making things up. I was laughing so hard I almost couldn't breathe. I kept pinching Tom's leg. Once he got rid of the old man, I couldn't help it and burst into giggles on his lap. Tom, so you have a brother too? Ha ha ha. Till he presses one hand on my waist, clicks his phone with the other. Afternoon meetings pushed back 2 hours. I tensed up. Tom, we can't, not here at work. Rachel, you're the one who sneaked into my office and hid under my desk to tease me. Wow, playing along too. I give up. Little Rachel is just overthinking. Please spare me, Tom. I'm no saint. You're a toxic mushroom. Back at my desk, wearing a mask, I replied to Sam's concern with no expression. Sorry, my tooth kinda hurts. Not in the mood to talk. Afraid I'd slip up, I kept touching my cheek, pretending to be hurt. Sam really thought I had a spat with Tom and started being all attentive. My attitude softened too, just waiting for him to slip up. Until Linda announced I'd accompany her with Tom on a business trip in a couple days. In front of everyone, Linda praised me for a great proposal last time, catching Tom's attention finally. Feeling guilty, I lowered my head, cursing Tom. Totally forgot I'd already agreed to that. But glancing at Sam's anxious expression, I almost looked forward to it. So, after work, I stayed for overtime on purpose. Eventually, it was just me and Sam in the empty office. He couldn't hold back and asked me for coffee downstairs. Then he sighed, Rachel, you joined the company before me, but you're a girl. Gossip can be brutal. Before I could say anything, the comments blew up. Is Sam for real? Dude's trying to stress her out. The main girl always saw the main guy as family. If they go public, the pressure would be huge. He's playing it wrong. She's texting the main dude right now, LOL. My fingers froze on my phone. 'Cause I was really messaging Tom. Tom, you wouldn't be thinking of anything shady with this trip, would you? Geez, Tom, that's scary. But if you are, can I get a fancy car, villa, maybe some big diamonds? Tom replied instantly. What are you eyeing this time? Satisfied, I sent tons of pics, then looked up. Tom, I know him well. He's not like that. You only know him as the boss others talk about. Only men get other men. I could hardly keep a straight face. He got more intense. Guys like him, inheriting a family biz, are built different from us regular folks. I bit my lip, trying not to burst out laughing. Great, in the future, if Tom ticks me off, I'll kick him to the curb. Don't overthink it, Brainiac. I was about to lose it. Luckily, Sam thought he convinced me seeing my face. He spoke with such sincerity. I know this is sudden, but ever since I first saw you at the company, I was smitten. No duh, I resemble your first crush. Except, she didn't even date him back then. Totally one-sided crush. I took a deep breath, swallowing all the insults. Sorry, not interested for now. No worries. I'll prove it to you. He even wrapped it up with, what he has, I'll have someday too. Never look down on a young man. Then left all hyped up. I laughed angrily. 'Cause he hadn't even paid the bill. Tom picked me up, taking me to a restaurant he reserved. We had the place to ourselves, amidst flowers and soft piano music. The riverside view was also stunning. But I was starving and ticked off, so didn't give a damn about it. Munching away, I vented to him, annoyed that the place was so fancy I had to keep my voice down. Scared of echoes, others might hear. Tom smoothed it over, all right. I'll find a way to keep you away from him for a few days. He grabbed his phone, telling Leo to find a reason to switch me to the secretary's department for a bit. I nodded vigorously, instinctively reading the comments out loud. Tom, that's top tier, no wonder you've got a wife. He froze for a second. Wife? I braced myself and gave a quick yes. When we get married, Leo has to sit with your parents. I regretted it as soon as I said it. First, calling him my husband, now bringing up marriage. He wouldn't think I'm hinting at a proposal, right? The comments were flying by, making me dizzy. I'm overwhelmed. The female lead's directness is so refreshing. Not hating on Sam today, thanks for helping the heroine boldly confess. Tom was about to say something. I quickly covered his mouth. I'm not hinting at a proposal. He removed my hand and said, slightly hoarse. Baby, look out the window. Fireworks lit up the night sky. Thump, thump, I clutched my chest, my heartbeat almost louder than the fireworks. Tom reached out and tidied my windblown hair. Like it? I grinned foolishly. Love it. Hee hee. I love the fireworks, and you too. He laughed helplessly. Can't you let me speak first? Nope, hee hee. I jumped out of his embrace, holding up my phone. Don't move, I want to snap a romantic pic. Amidst the fireworks, I kissed Tom. He quickly overpowered me with his own kiss, making my knees weak. I didn't even notice my phone dropping to the floor in the process. I consoled myself that I couldn't post the picture anyway. The next day, while I was goofing off in Tom's office, I got a message from Sam. Sure enough, Sam suspected Tom had ulterior motives. Did he find out something and then move you? I glanced at Tom engrossed in paperwork, then at the empty sunflower seed shells in front of me. Don't say a word. If Tom finds out, you'll get fired. I felt a bit sick sending that off. But Sam enjoyed it. Just hang in there a bit more. I'll expose the truth soon. I looked at my hand on Tom's thigh. Feeling guilty, I tried to pull back. He held it firmly. What's up? I shook my head and slipped my hand under his shirt. Bored, just wanted to touch somewhere else. Tom looked up, eyes dark behind his glasses. I playfully poked his stomach. I meant your abs. What were you thinking? I never expected Sam's exposure to be so blatant. I was already at home, sleeping soundly. Leo called, claiming Tom was drunk and insisting I pick him up. Grumbling, I went to the address Leo sent me and found a mess. Sam was on the ground, bloodied, restrained by bodyguards. Leo guided me, running over. Here's what happened. Tom had a client dinner with a female client, and Linda was to accompany him. But she sprained her ankle on the way down. So the most project familiar, Sam, went instead. He had all the contracts and official seals. But he switched the drinks and drugged them, even altered the contract. Luckily, Tom was wary, realized after one sip, and none of the others drank. He also sent away the media waiting outside. He summed it up, pushing open the box door. Tom sat on the sofa with his head down. I approached cautiously. Tom, are you all right? He wrapped his arm around my waist without a word. Uncomfortable? He nodded silently. Annoyed and anxious, I pulled him to his feet. Stand up, let's go to the hospital. Seriously, at your age, you remind me not to take things from strangers, yet you fall for such tricks. So embarrassing. I scolded him as we headed out. Sam, seeing me, raised his bruised face. Rachel, let me explain, I did it for you. I frowned. For me? Because I look like your first love? Why you found out? Jealous? I've forgotten her. I only care about you. Believe me, you were never a stand-in. I rolled my eyes. Leo, get the best lawyer. Make sure he's thoroughly penalized. Don't worry, miss. Besides drugging Tom, he also forged contracts. These charges will tear him apart. I nodded, done with this lunatic. Sam suddenly yelled. Tom, you set me up. Rachel. You're my wife. Tom, may you die miserably. I'll be richer than you someday. Even beside me, Rachel gave me 2 sons. She wouldn't fight back even if I hit her. He raved irrationally. Both I and the viewers realized at once. Oh my God, Sam really knows future events. So gross, no wonder he always looked so confident. Thank God the heroine didn't fall for it. Tom, usually clingy, suddenly stood. He stepped on Sam's head, contemptuously. You think you're worthy of her? I crossed my arms, laughing. Finally dropping the act, Tom. I sensed his tenseness outside the room when hearing Sam. I hadn't planned on revealing it, but he couldn't hold back. Tom turned back, face a bit awkward. Baby, I nearly drank that spiked drink. Don't you feel sorry for me? Ignoring him, I yawned and continued walking out. Tom got into the car with me, now showering me with compliments. Baby, you're so smart, seeing through Sam's tricks instantly. I scoffed. What? Was Linda's sprain part of your plan too? So clever, baby. At first, it seemed catching him drugging was enough, but he dared to forge and modify things beyond that. Many media were outside waiting to see me humiliate myself. I mentally cursed him, a sly old fox. But it was too late at night. I nestled into him and fell asleep. Tom, I know older folks sleep little, but you can't go without sleep. Gazing at the dim sky outside, frustration rose. Tom feigned innocence. But you promised to accompany me on this trip. Furious, I punched him. In the end, he dressed me himself and carried me to the car. When we reached the airport, it was just 5 a.m. Sitting by the window, I passed time reading comments. Did you see the system notification? I'll miss the heroine so much. The plot armor of the main character has been stripped away, and the storyline's gone astray. They're closing this window to the small world. Does that mean I won't see the female lead anymore? No way. On the bright side, it means our girl won't have anything to do with that loser, Sam, anymore. No more comments after this? I felt a bit dazed and wrote 2 words on the window, 1 line at a time. Goodbye. Then they realized it too. Oh my gosh, is the female lead saying goodbye to us? No wonder she spotted Sam's issues in time. I'm declaring that we're in sync with each other. Girl, you gotta stay happy. I chuckled and whispered. Thank you all. Those comments disappeared like chalk off a blackboard. Gone without a trace. Suddenly, I remembered something and tapped Tom on the arm. Wait a second, wasn't Linda commuting with us for the trip? She sprained her ankle, remember? Oh, wait. That was you guys conspiring to fool Sam. Baby, just get some rest. You're getting a bit muddled. I cursed liar under my breath and shut my eyes tightly. Until the plane landed. In a half-asleep state, I followed him into the car, gazing at the scenery. Since when do we have business by the sea? Then I checked my phone notifications. Paid vacation approved. Did I ever apply for paid leave? Tom put a straw hat over my face. Don't forget the sunscreen. Finally, it clicked. I hugged him and planted a kiss on his cheek. Tom, I'm seriously liking you more and more. To tease Tom, I even dug out a super short skirt. Huh, Tom, you better not mind the small stuff. As soon as I got out of the car, I dashed into the villa. Tom must have set this place up a while ago. Everything's decorated just for me. Even the sunscreen on the table is my go-to brand. I grabbed my skincare bottles and went over to butter him up. Tom, to make amends, let me put some sunscreen on you. You won't put less on me on purpose just to make me tan, will you? How can you be so mean to assume that of a sweet girl like me? Tell you what, I'll help you, you help me. If one of us tans, the other has to draw a turtle on their face. Tom grinned mischievously. Oh. You better make sure you do a good job on me then. I was so naive. Sitting on his waist, I realized something was off. Hey, looks like the sun's setting outside. How about we just head out and have fun instead? He shifted his waist, nearly tossing me off the bed. Babe, giving up so soon? Huh, I'm tapping out. He flipped over and sealed my lips with his. I struggled to push him off. No, I want to go out and play. Babe, it's still early. He opened the drawer. Now, it's my turn to apply some on you. You're a big fat liar, that's not sunscreen in your hand.